Just a chorus of no's and Okay. Takes my
Now?
I'm not done.
Is that all on video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this particular lesson deals with something called rational expression. That's a pretty big name. I'll just write it here, and I'll tell you what it really is. A rational expression is nothing more than a fraction. So don't get scared off by hearing rational expression. All it is a fraction. And our objective today is to learn how to multiply these things. Now, the reason they use rational expression is that they're going to throw in some numbers, letters, exponents, and all that sort of stuff. But it's really, if you can multiply fractions, you can do this pretty easily. So let's just review a multiplication of fractions here. We have 6/8 multiplied by 4/3. Now, when we first learned how to do this, perhaps your instructor told you to do a prime factorization of these numbers. Now, what that means is take it down to the smallest numbers you can use to write out multiplication on. So 6 would become 3 times 2 or 2 times 3. 8 would become 2 times 2 times 2. 4, of course, would be just 2 times 4, 2. And 3 is 3 times 1. So now all of the numbers used here are prime numbers. Now what we can do is look at this part of it right here, and we have a 2 on top and a 2 on the bottom with a divided sign between them. 2 divided by 2 is what? It's 1. So this part of the fraction just becomes 1. And here we have another 2 on top and another 2 on the bottom. And 2 divided by 2 again is 1. We have another 2 and another 2. And that is 1. So far, I've got a 3 up here, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 1. Oh, 3 down there. So I have a 3 on top, there's 3 on the bottom. 3 divided by 3 is 1 again. So all I've got left is 1. And 1 times 1 times 1, and 1 times 1 times 1. Top is 1, bottom is 1. 1 divided by 1. Oh, interesting. We got rid of a lot of things, didn't we? Now, this particular property here, I'd like to emphasize that you do actually have quotients of 1. There is a property in your book order called the cancellation property, which allows you to take the same number off the top and bottom. But what they're really saying is the quotient of those two is 1. Let's look at something like this. 3x over 2 multiplied by 4 divided by 6. I guess before I get to that problem, I want to digress just a moment. I said when we started out, we did prime factorizations. Now, you people should be in a position here to be able to look and not have to write 8 as 2 times 2 times 2. You should be able to look at the 8 and realizing there's a 4 up here, write it as 4 times 2 instead of 2 times 2 times 2. In other words, you're going to cut out a little bit of your writing and so forth by just looking and being observant as to what's wrong and what things you want to care for. So instead of doing all of the prime factorization, I would hope at this point you take the 6, and of course write it as 3 times 2, doesn't want to match that. And then you take the 8 and write it as 4 times 2 because you want to match this up here. And that's multiplied by 4 over 3. There's no need to go 2 times 2 here because we have this 4 taken care of. those 2's are taken care of, those 3's are taken care of. That's a little easier than writing the complete prime factorization. But the safe way is to do the prime factorization. But hopefully you should be able to take a look and see how you can write it. So now let's go over to this other problem there for a moment. And just take a look at how this would go. If we look at this 4 here, for instance, how would we run and write that, you think? 2 times 2 probably, you get rid of this. That's correct. How about the 6? Should we do anything with that?
2 times 3.
2 times 3. Okay, so that's fantastic. So we have 3 times x times 4 and whoops. So we can look 2 times 2. And then 2 times 3 times 2 times that. And now, what's the same? 3 with 3, 2 with 2. Oh, again, 2 with 2. And x with x. My goodness, everything went again. You have to get a problem where it doesn't turn out to be 1 here pretty soon. Otherwise, you get the idea. They all turn out to be 1, and they don't. They don't. All right, as you remember from before, this is called a polynomial. In fact, it's a trinomial. It has 3 terms. And we talked before the tape went on about the FOIL method a little bit. And you can actually factor this, and this is going to be something you'll need to do because you'll see expressions like this in a fraction you'll need to deal with. You'll need to be able to factor this. So this we decided was the F part of the FOIL. And so these 2 things multiply to give me x squared. So hopefully that's actually x. This is the F part of FOIL. This is old slot I in the middle. And this is L out here in your answer. That's how you get those pieces of the polynomial. So when I look at x squared, the 2 first parts have to give me x squared. So x times x is x squared. Now I'm not going to look at the next term, and I'm going to go way out to the end and look at 6. And we can get 6 a number of different ways. We can go 6 as 1, 3, and 2 as examples. All right, now what I usually do is write those in, and then I check O plus I to see it turns out to be the right middle term. And with these both being plus, we need pluses there. So if I take the top combination, the 6 and the 1, outside is going to be 1x, inside is 6x, and together that's 7x. And that's not what we want in the middle. We want 5x. So that combination certainly can work. Here, outside is 2x, inside is 3x. I put them together, I do get 5x. So this would be the correct factorization then of that trinomial. You're going to be able to, you're going to have to do this in some of these problems as we go along. And I'll help you with it if you get stuck. That's not a big deal because we have looked at this before, but it's something that's a little bit different. Okay, I do have a few problems here that I just want to review with you and have you help me solve so that I'm sure you know what is happening here. So this is our first one. Now, let's look at this 9 first. How do you think we should write that?
2 times 3. No, 3 times 3.
That would work better.
I can't do simple math.
That might be better. So we have 3 times 3. Now with this 10 and 15, just leave the x alone. everything's done and put down to the 3 we need, and the X we need up there. So what we did is we factored as much as we could here, and now we need to use the cancellation property, and these 2 3s here become 1, and those 2 5s become 1, and these 2 3s become 1. So what I have is 1 times 1 times 1 times x, and 2 times 1 times 1 times 1, and the final result should be 2. That's the simplest way to write this. You might have to put your thinking cap on for this. Something a little unusual. Let's take care of the numbers first because we've done that already. How do you think we want to deal with the 6? Very good. 2 times 3. I'm just going to leave that x to the 4th alone for a minute. We'll come back. The 3, we don't need to deal with that any differently. We'll just write the 3. 5 looks good over here. And 8 is probably going to be 2 times 4. So we got the numbers taken care of. That's not a big deal. We've done that in 2 or 3 examples. Now let's take care of these letters. I would like you to notice that you have an x here and an x to the 4th there. So I would suggest that the best way to look at this x to the 4th is x times x to the 3rd. Now the reason for this x is to deal with that x there. And there's no need here to go x times x times x. X cubed is fine. Now we look at these 2, and I think we can leave this as y to the 5th and express this as y to the 5th times y squared. We did y to the 5th and that's y to the 5th on top. And just to review here, when you multiply these, you add the exponents together. So it's y to the 5 plus 2 is 7 power. So now we should be able to take out those things that divide give us 1, which would be this and this.
Do you want to have the volume a little bit?
Yeah. Everything now? So we have 3, another 3, and then an x cubed. So 9x cubed. And then we have 5 and 4 is 20. That's multiplying that in. 5 times 4 is 20. That's the simplest section of that problem. I'll throw one in here that's got a couple of expressions. Squared plus 13x plus 42. And then x squared minus 3x minus 40. And x minus 8. Plus 6. Now, this one's going to be a handful here to keep track of. Because we're going to have to use the FOIL method on these 2. So let's get some practice here using the FOIL method up here. Remember, this is F. This is O plus I. That's L. So how how do we get x squared multiplying those two? Times x probably. How about 42? What combination do you think we should use? What looks good?
6 times 7.
6 and 7. And the reason that looks pretty good is because when you add O and I, you get 13 with 6 and 7. So that looks very, very good to me. And it doesn't make any difference if I go 6 here and 7 there. I will do that. This is plus, and both sides are the same. This is plus. So, there we go. Down the bottom, this one's a little more difficult. Again, F, O plus I, L. To get the x squared, we have x and x. Now, how about 40? What combination can we use for 40? 8 times 5. Okay. Now up here we talked about O plus I, and we went 6 and 7 was 13. 5 and 8 doesn't turn out to be 3, does it? But we have a negative here. So one of the 5 or the 3 needs to, 5 or the 8, I'm sorry, needs to be negative. So, for instance, if I took a plus 5 and a minus 8 and combined them together, yee-haw, negative 3, huh? Doesn't work the other way with a negative 5 and plus 8. But a plus 5 and a negative 8. And you'll get pretty good, you'll get pretty good at these as we go on. I'm confident of that. And then I'm going to write the rest of this down because that can't be factored any further. And now what do we have that will divide to give us 1? Well, x plus 6 and x plus 6. X minus 8. X minus 8. So our final answer turns out to be x plus 7 divided by x plus 5. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. I think that's a good sampling of the kind of problems you're going to be dealing with there. Remember that you want to factor first. Before you do any canceling, you want to factor first. Then do the canceling, find the quotients that give you 1, and then come up with your answer.